Pippins of the world, these NFL athletes, and you would never imagine that they've been through stuff. How hard is it to find them?
It's not. I mean, the thing that's amazing is now we're in our 4th year, they came to us. And they said, we've seen you doing this for a couple of years. We want to share the stories. And the premise was exactly that. You never imagine that the guys who you think of as heroes are the ones facing bullying and discrimination. And what we wanted to do was start the conversation off by saying you're not alone. You're not the only person who faced this.
I maybe get the discrimination. We've heard about that. But the bullying from these players, these are big, strong athletes.
Yeah, my favorite story from all 4 years was Tony Gonzalez, year 1. He said, well, I'll talk a little bit about bullying. And then he gets into his interview, and he's like on the verge of tears talking about how he was beaten up as a little kid. And it's funny because I was bullied in high school really badly, and I didn't talk about it with anyone. And then we started doing this show, and to warm the players up, I'd be like, well, I mean, I've been through it too. And they're like, why aren't you talking about it? I was like, no, you go out and say it. And it became a powerful movement. I mean, what's amazing is Characters Unite, which is the program that USA does all year long, which this is a part of, has really started a conversation at YMCAs and YWCAs. And what the NFL really gives you the opportunity is the guys are such heroes in their cities. The kids come out in droves. I mean, tens of thousands of kids showed up at YMCAs last year for J.J. Watt. This year, there are going to be several hundred YMCAs doing screenings tonight. So we're really excited about it.
Don't tell me J.J. Watt was bullied. There's just...
J.J. Watt was a little kid.
Really?
He was a little kid.
I mean, he is the...
What were you bullied for?
Being an arrogant, annoying, freshman, sophomore in high school. Yeah.
So the older kids just, this is stuff in the locker kind of thing?
Yeah, it was about education, I think. They were educating me on what you're not supposed to do.
This is your place. This is where you fit in, Charlie.
Right, exactly.
We can laugh now, but painful. And now as parents, you want to teach your kids the tools. So what a great video for them to watch. What a documentary.
Yeah, and I think the thing is that you try to laugh about it. You try to make it seem like it's not a big deal, but the effects of it are really bad. And I think that what we try to do more than anything is to encourage people to have the conversation. Because I didn't talk about it. My parents found out about it because I was literally knocked unconscious, being bullied. And the school had to call my parents and tell me that it happened. It had been going on for months, and they didn't know. And with a lot of these players who were on JV football or whatever before they became superstars, nobody believes that they're getting shoved into lockers or that they're getting stuff taken away from them or they're getting humiliated in front of people. But that humiliation has lifelong consequences. And I think that what was amazing was when you see someone like Richard Sherman, who became such an astounding, Stanford graduate, Super Bowl champion, all these amazing things, that underneath it all is born out of the fact that he did talk about it with his parents and he did have an open dialogue and was able to work through it.
He was bullied for being smart, right? And for being too booky or...
Yeah,
you think you're better than us?
Exactly, and also he was in an area where it would have been very easy for him to take the wrong turn. You know what? School's too tough, whatever, I'm going to join a gang. Like the kid, Tevin, who he worked with, both of his brothers have ended up in juvie. Both of his brothers are kind of going the wrong path. He's being raised only by his sister, and his sister really has convinced him that the only path is the right path, which is education and community service and that type of stuff. So he and Richard were match made in heaven.
So
you're a busy man. Oh, did you want us to go on that? I was going to talk about 6 certified. What do you do with Michelle Obama?
One of the things, for the last several years, I've done a lot of projects with veterans. And one of the things that struck me was a lot of times we'd talk to them and they talk about not being able to get regular jobs or coming back into society. And after World War II, millions of veterans came back and the economy exploded because we saw them for what they were. Men of honor, women of respect and service-oriented who were skilled workers who could help the economy. But when Americans were surveyed over the last 2 years, thousands, they overwhelmingly said it's a burden to the economy that veterans are coming back because they view them as either victims or heroes. And that's largely because of television and film. But when you look at like the LBGT movement of the last 15 years, shows like Will and Grace, they normalized the view. So it wasn't like, oh, he's gay, he's this. It became he's also gay, but really he's a lawyer and a friend and whatever. The idea behind 6 Certified was to partner with Got Your Six and with the First Lady and the White House, and to create a program that would certify films that do a good job of normalizing the view of veterans. And when they come home, that Jay Pritchett on Modern Family is a perfect example of, he's a veteran, but most people who watch the show don't even realize that. It's just a cool thing about his character.
And Bradley Cooper in American Sniper, would we say, did that get a little distorted?
No, I think that I knew Kyle. And I have to say, it was eerie watching the movie how accurate
Accurate.
portrayal. I mean, scary accurate.
For sure, but did the movie get a little distorted? I mean, here's Chris Kyle, some people kind of tore down his character a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing.
Which upsets me.
I think it's me too, but I think the thing, at the end of the day, what you have to look at is war is very complicated. And the veteran story, the soldier story, is a complicated and difficult thing to understand. Because if you're not in the theater of war, if you haven't been on the ground getting shot at, it's very difficult to judge the people who are over there. And I think that what Bradley did with the film, and I think what the film did in general, Warner Brothers did a phenomenal job doing, was telling a very even-handed story about what this guy's recollection of the war was and what his friends and family remembered. And they created a representation that, I spent time in war zones and being shot at and that kind of thing. And
you did.
Yeah, when we did the show The Wanted for NBC 4 years ago, where we tracked down terrorists, we went into the Congo during the Civil War and into Kenya during a lot of the skirmishes. And one of the things that you learn from spending time with veterans, I'm not by any stretch of the imagination on the level of these guys, but what you learn from these guys is they develop a certain type of personality, and they have to deal with these things in a certain way.
Thank heavens they do, for us. Charles, on the personal front, you look...
Let's make a turn.
Oh, you look incredibly fit. Well, first of all, let's talk about this. He's dropped about 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Not that he needed to. He's a tall guy, but I guess you were hiding it somewhere.
I thought because you were in love. When women are in love, a lot of times we will just transform.
But he's ripped up from CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's 5 times a week.
Yeah.
That's a real commitment.
Yeah. It's been an interesting thing, worthwhile. One of the things that I learned was if you don't have something energetic that you're doing every day, then the ability to just get worn down and run out. And so
if your mind.
Yeah, it's like counterintuitive. If you work harder in the morning, then the rest of the day feels better.
Is it motivated by love, Charles?
It started way before. Now it's...
Before what?
I was texting you in early November. I was saying, what's going on here? Is this true? Charlie ever saw
I like that you were holding our friendship up, because I don't remember getting a Christmas card from you this year. I don't remember.
Not after you blew me off.
I didn't see you at my birthday party. I feel like this friendship is so weighted in one direction.
Yes, it's a two-way street, Charles. When I put out a text, I'm expecting at least a response. Can't talk about it.
Wait, forget all that.
The other direction of the road must be under
This is not about us.
Because
This
it
is not
all
about our
seems
squad.
like it's running
Charlie,
in one direction.
how did you two meet? Tell me about your first meeting with Britney.
I will absolutely tell you about that as soon as they shut the cameras off.
Okay,
guys, of all the things in the world, let me ask you this, because when we talk about the documentary about bullying and all these other things, so one thing that I will say is that, and I've learned this from my family, and you've definitely learned this from your family. Your personal life is one of the few things that you have that can actually be yours. And I know I've chosen a career that puts me out there, and obviously she has as well. And I'm incredibly lucky because she's an amazing woman. I mean, you can't look past all of the incredible accomplishments that she has. But the one thing that we have that we get to enjoy is not having to share it with the world, And I think the thing that I enjoy more than anything is the quiet time I get with my parents, because they made the choice to, live in Connecticut and not be in the front of the cameras when I was a kid. We get the same thing. We have a great time because we don't go out. I mean, we talked about being homebodies. It's not just accidental. It's by design.
Charles, what are Valentine's Day plans?
Oh, my God. They're complicated because the birthday cake war has gotten so out of control that now I feel like I've got to overreact to such a huge...
What do you mean the birthday cake?
I think she went horseback, because she'll post a lot of cute pictures of the two of you. So she took you horseback riding for your birthday. Did she also make you a great cake? I think I missed this.
Well, so I got her a big birthday cake for her birthday, and then she got a bigger birthday cake for me for my birthday, so we're starting to ramp up a little bit.
This is cute.
Love lift us up where we
belong.
Where the eagles fly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Grammy for morning television.
Charles, you've done well.
You handled that perfectly.
You handled that well.
I'm glad you're happy. I think your documentary is amazing, and I'm excited. I love love. We love love. We like it.
We are very known to be supportive of love. So
well, I love that you love love.
We love love.
We love you.
And we respect your space and give Britney